What's up, everybody? It's the Tabletop Tyrant, and I'm here with an update on my Tamurkhan sword project. So, last week or a week or two ago, I did a little showcase of Boobalos, and now it's time to showcase Tamurkhan. Now, for those of you that didn't see that one, top right corner. Okay, so now that we've got that and you're caught up to speed, if you had to check that one out, welcome back. Today is Tamurkhan. So, I had the idea from Total War, and unfortunately, it did not play out very well. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, just nothing worked, all right? Like, I got the Ogre model, came in, next thing I know, it doesn't fit. Tamurkhan's too big. Not only is he too big, he's too wide. Not only is he too wide, but he's also thin in the back. So, I was left with using the original sculpt of the torso, cleaning off some of it. I took off some of the extra Nurglings that just looked derp, and I went through and I filled my gaps in and did all that. Now that I had the base model, which I wasn't able to get the recording on because my fat head was in the way, I went through, did my base coats, everything is normal. I used the airbrush for most of it. For what I couldn't, I went through and I brush painted it, and then I was left with what you see here. Now, when I did the flesh, I went through and I did some purple glazes, some green glazes, and then some peachy glazes over a pretty pastel flesh. Now, I did it like this because, as you'll see here, I started using some of the oil washes to go through and bring out the colors. So the very first thing I used was AK Interactive. So the way I highlighted and stippled the metal, I wanted to really bring out after the enamel wash. So at first I tried just hitting it in the recesses, and then I realized it's textured enough to the point where I can apply it to the whole model, the whole metal part, not the entire model, and kind of wipe away as you see here, leaving it with a really awesome detailing. And as you can see here on the axe, as I wipe away, I'm making sure to leave the excess and the recesses and creases of where I want it to be. And I hit anything that was silver with that. Now, one thing I like to do is use a little bit of Rise of Rust with my streaking grime. Rise of Rust is in an acrylic base paint, where AK Interactives, I believe, is an enamel. So one is made with oil, one is made with water. Now they technically don't mix, but I find that using the dry paint Rise of Rust and mixing it kind of in with the enamel paint, when it dries, you can't even tell you did it, and it works out really well. And I just apply that to wherever I wanted there to be like a rust buildup in the corners of the helmet, towards the buildup on the axe, on the chains that are securing his shoulder pauldrons, anything along that line. To give some weathering to the browns, I went through with Abtalung 502, their oxide, thinned it down with mineral spirits, and started really just applying it anywhere I wanted it to look like had been aged or decayed, or, you know, make this guy really look Nurgle-y, and I wanted to show that through decay of the bronze. After I went through and did that, I added a little bit of an olive drab from 502 to the cloth to dial it back into the banner, followed by washing the skin and the cloth with Abtalung 502 Shadow Brown, really thinning it down. I thin it down for two reasons. One, I don't want it to stick too much. Two, I want it to dry fairly fast. Abtalung has lot of linseed oil, which is great, making it able to go back and paint and dry. It affects the drying time. I think also it comes out a little glossier. So when I want it to dry quick, or I want to use it as a wash, I'll thin it down with mineral spirits fairly enough. Get the consistency I want by just practicing on my hand or on the map below. And then what I'll do is I'll dap up any of the excess with the same makeup sponge and a little bit of mineral spirits on that. And I'm left here with this finished product. I can't be more happy with how Tamurkhan worked out. Now, when posing this, you'll notice I changed the pose from this one to this one. I want it to look like he's calling his horde just forward. Maybe he's at the end of his lifespan going through Nuln. If you need to know the lore, top right corner. I wanted to kind of like he's calling his army forward. So I had that front arm portion forward. That's going to be where the reins are, the chain reins that connect to Boobalos, as you see here. And then with his axe, I wanted to be holding it in the air like a symbol of his triumph, like walking that land like he owns it, on his apotheosis, soon to be sitting on the throne of chaos. Now, everybody, as you can see here, this is the finished product of what I've got done. But anyways, with that being said, I want to close out this Tamurkhan's Horde Part 2. Part 3 will either be the Jabber site that I'm taking as a mercenary, or Plague Toads, and or Forsaken if they come in time. Before I hop off here, Warriors of Chaos Army Breakdown, Arcane Journal Breakdown tomorrow. And on top of it, I'm running a little painting challenge. It ends December 15th. If you're interested in that, video in the top right-hand corner, check it out and join us. It's completely for fun, and I hope to see you there. Everybody, thank you very much. Take care and peace.